There was a time when Twitch wasn't just a website. It was a promise. The intoxicating promise that anyone could turn their passion for gaming into a profession. It became a digital nation. But that promise is fading away. The evidence we found shows that the world's biggest streaming platform is being systematically hollowed out from the inside, and the culprit isn't a rival platform. It's the one company everyone assures is its greatest asset. This is the story of how Amazon is sabotaging Twitch. To understand the crime, you first have to understand the kingdom that they're letting burn. Before Twitch, the life of a creator was a gauntlet. The landscape was a wild frontier of platforms like Justin.tv, where a co-founder became the OG of the 24/7 live stream. It was chaotic, it was raw. But one category began to grow so popular so fast that it threatened to overwhelm the very platform that hosted it. Gamers needed their own home. And in 2011, they finally got one. The gaming section of Justin.tv was spun off into its own platform, Twitch.tv. Under Emmett Shear's community-first vision, it wasn't just a video player, it was a culture built on the electric real-time connection between a streamer and their chat. The 2014 acquisition by Amazon gave it its resources to scale the stream globally. But by 2018, over 1 million people were watching at any given moment, consuming over 9 billion hours of content that year alone. This created a powerful networking effect powered by a revolutionary engine. Channel subscriptions provided stable revenue. Bits allowed for an on-screen tipping, and the biggest channels, there was the ultimate prize, a premium 70-30 revenue split. But the real currency wasn't money. It was community. The live chat transformed passive viewing into active participation, developing its own global language of emotes. Features like raids were built to foster connection, allowing large streamers to pass their social capital to smaller creators.
Yo, what the f***? His and hers. Oh. Mwah, his and hers. Mwah. Mwah. Hey, thank you for the host.
This wasn't just a feature. It was the platform's soul. It was the promise of a place to belong. But that promise was built on a foundation that was about to crack. The Twitch stream started crushing under the immense weight of its parent company, Amazon. A series of platform failures and policy changes, all driven by corporate imperatives, began to chip away at the foundation of trust. First came the trust crisis. In mid-2020, a storm of copyright claims descended on the platform, forcing streamers to mass delete their entire video archives out of fear of a permanent ban. Their life's work, their memories, erased. Beneath the public crisis, a silent epidemic was spreading: creator burnout. With Amazon prioritizing profitable ventures like IVS and ad integration, core creator problems like Twitch's notoriously poor discovery tools were left to fester, creating a content treadmill to grow, and you had to be live. All the time. The fear of disappearing the moment you logged off became a crushing weight. Then came the financial squeeze. In September 2022, Twitch announced it was phasing out of its aspirational 70-30 premium deals. This was followed by the disastrous brand content policy in 2023, which was so anti-creator that the company was forced into a humiliating public reversal in less than 24 hours. A corporate speedrun of find out. Trust was broken, burnout was rampant, and income was shrinking. The kingdom was becoming a prison. And in its most powerful prisoners, began to plan their escape. The first shot in the streaming wars wasn't a new feature, you see. It was an actual person. And in August 2019, the world's most famous gamer at the time, Tyler Ninja Blevins, announced that he was leaving Twitch for Microsoft's Mixer.
I know this may come as a shock to many of you, but as of today, I will be streaming exclusively on Mixer. I know, it's exciting.
The deal sent out a shockwave through the industry, triggering an arms race. Twitch, in a panic, retaliated by locking down its own stars. They signed streamers like Tim the Tap Man and Dr. Lupo to massive, multi-million-dollar exclusivity deals just to keep them from leaving. It was a temporary, expensive bandage, but that bandage didn't hold. Mixer died by mid-2020, and by the underlying problems that Twitch still remain. And soon, the very creators Twitch had paid millions to keep, Tim the Tatman and Dr. Lupo, they left anyway. But this time for YouTube. It was a stunning indictment. It proved that money alone could not fix a broken home. They were followed by the next wave. Creators like Valkyrae and Ludwig fled to YouTube gaming, seeking a solution to the burnout Twitch had created.
Oh yeah? What language you speak?
American Sign Language.
Prove it.
Thank you.
Everyone knows that.
Cat.
That was kind of impressive.
Father. You know what poop is? Huh. It's pretty much the same one.
Yeah, it's just like a different color.
Yeah. Just want to take that home?
Let's go.
Wait, don't you get in trouble for playing music?
Not in this car. Not in this car.
Ludwig's announcement was a direct shot at his former platform, symbolizing his escape from the purple prison. The final wave might be the most brutal. In late 2022, Kick emerged, weaponizing pure financial power. Their landmark signing of Twitch's biggest star, XQC, for a rumored $100 million was a raw display of force. The exodus was becoming inevitable. The question was no longer if creators would leave Twitch, but why the platform was failing to retain them. This is the heart of the paradox. Despite its market dominance, Twitch is chronically unprofitable, a fact its own CEO was forced to admit. For years, the company has blamed the high cost of streaming video. But that's not the whole story. The real reason is a strategy of internal corporate cannibalization. To understand it, you have to understand that when Amazon bought Twitch, it didn't just buy a website. It bought two incredibly valuable world-class technologies. The first was its video network, the best low-latency video delivery system on the planet. The second was its specialized ad sales team, experts at integrating brands directly with creators. And like a corporate dragon hoarding treasure, Amazon took both for itself. The video network was ripped out, rebranded as Amazon IVS, and sold as a premium service through Amazon Web Services. The ad sales team was absorbed into a global Amazon Ads division. Amazon essentially harvested Twitch's most profitable, high-margin parts and left the division as a hollowed-out shell. But here is where the sabotage truly begins. Twitch, the division, is now forced to pay its own parent company for the very technology it invented. This is a neat little bit of corporate magic called transfer pricing. Essentially, you reach into your company's left pocket to pay out of your right pocket for a service. But the right pocket charges a premium. So the left pocket ends up broke while the right pocket posts record profits. This is what Amazon did to Twitch, creating a paper loss which then becomes the perfect corporate justification for austerity, layoffs, hiring freezes, and the creator pay cuts it had blamed on server costs that were being paid to its own parent company. The costs are verifiable based on public AWS pricing. A single 8-hour stream to 10,000 viewers can cost nearly $6,000. This creates a financial straitjacket where paying customers can actually become a net loss for the company. But the most destructive evidence of this sabotage is found by asking a simple question. Who are the biggest customers of Amazon IVS? The answer? Twitch's direct rivals. Even back when Facebook Gaming was a major competitor, it was built on the back of IVS. Today, Kick, the platform poaching Twitch's biggest stars, also runs on Amazon IVS. This is the ultimate act of corporate cannibalization. It's like a world-famous bakery selling its secret recipe to the rival bakery next door, and then acting surprised when its own bread sales start to fall. Every time a viewer watches a stream on these competing platforms, Amazon gets paid, profiting from the downfall of a platform it's supposed to be empowering. It proves the parent company has no allegiance to Twitch's success, only to its own bottom line. And the technology wasn't the only valuable asset Amazon absorbed, of course. The second was its ad sales team. The result? Twitch lost the ability to create unique integrated ad products for its gaming-centric audience. This created the universally hated ad experience that creators like Moist Critical have criticized, a system that runs lengthy, unskippable ads and forces midstream breaks that interrupt the live action. fundamentally breaking the magic of the platform.
Like, I am at the point, and I've been at this point for a while, where if there's a pre-roll that plays, I just leave. And on my streams, there are pre-rolls. Not because I put them there, it's because Twitch has it as an automated process. If you don't run at least like 3 minutes of ad breaks, 3 minutes worth of ads for every hour that you stream, Twitch puts pre-rolls there. You earn your good boy points through ad breaks on Twitch, and if you reach a certain threshold, they get rid of the pre-rolls.
Amazon had harvested Twitch's best parts for profit and left the division with a low margin shell. They had hollowed out their own fortress from the inside, leaving the gates undefended from the rivals who had been waiting for years. The result of this internal sabotage is the great paradox of the streaming wars. The live streaming industry as a whole is booming, but Twitch is stagnating and losing market share. The era of a single dominant platform is over, and the data from 2025 paints a clear enough picture of the new fractured landscape. In the war for total eyeballs, YouTube is still undisputed as a superpower. It is winning the broad content war. However, in the specialized kingdom of gaming, Twitch is still king. It commands over half of the entire market. It's a wounded king on a crumbling throne, bleeding viewers year over year. But it still remains the final boss of gaming culture. And this is the metric that explains the entire conflict. Kick's creator first 95% split is a direct assault of Twitch's 50-50 model in place for the vast majority of creators. YouTube's 70% split offers a stable middle ground. This is not just a feature comparison. It is a financial engine of the entire war. The soul of online culture, once housed in a single digital nation, is now decentralized. Power has shifted permanently from the platform to the creator. And while the creator may have won their independence, the cost was the destruction of their capital city. This new era of independence is a victory for the creator. There's no question about that. But it forces us to ask a much more difficult question. What happens to a culture when it loses its capital city? Does our community become stronger when it's scattered? Or does it simply begin to fade away?